Irony not lost on Kentucky Coal Mining Museum switching to solar power. We believe that this project will help save at least $8,000 to $10,000 off the energy costs on this building alone, says a spokesman for the college that operates the museum. Housed in a former commissary building and tucked into the hollers of Harlan County, the heart of Kentucky mining country, is a museum dedicated to all aspects of extracting coal from the state's mountains. Mining equipment decorates its walls, while a 2-ton block of coal at the front door greets visitors. Children can climb on the museum's 1940s model electric locomotive that once carried Kentucky men into the mines. An exhibit dedicated to Loretta Lynn, who wrote and who is the coal miner's daughter, sits on the 3rd floor. Guests can even wander through an actual underground coal mine. Not much about the Kentucky Coal Mining Museum screams modern. It sits next to City Hall on Main Street, the only thoroughfare of Benham, KY. That's to be expected from a museum dedicated to an old form of energy, which is what makes its own power method so interesting. The museum is switching to solar power in hopes of saving money on energy costs, as reported by WYMT and EKB-TV. The installation of solar panels began this week. We believe that this project will help save at least $8,000 to $10,000 off the energy costs on this building alone, so it's a very worthy effort and it's going to save the college money in the long run. Brandon Robinson, Communications Director of Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College, which owns the museum, told WYMT. Robinson wasn't blind to the incongruity of a coal museum being powered by solar energy, asserting that there's a symbiosis between the two. It is a little ironic, said Robinson, but you know, coal and solar and all the different energy sources work hand in hand. And, of course, coal is still king around here. As Tre Sexton, owner of Bluegrass Solar, told EKB-TV, the runoff power collected by the panels will be fed back into Benham's power grid. The entire town of almost 500 that bills itself as the little town that International Harvester, coal miners and their families built, will be partially run on solar power. I know the irony is pretty prevalent, Sexton told EKB-TV. But all the same, it is making a big difference, I think, for not only the museum, which will probably eliminate a lot of their overhead, but the city in general. We're happy to be able to hopefully provide some power to the city of Benham that we're not using here, Robinson told EKB. So it's a great project, it's a great effort. About 85% of Harlan County voted for Donald Trump in the 2017 election. The disparity between Hillary Clinton's and Trump's campaign promises concerning energy almost assuredly played a factor in that vote. While Clinton, speaking about renewable energy, infamously said, "We're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business," Trump promised sweeping deregulation of the coal industry. Trump's plan struck a chord with some miners. Former Harlan County coal miner Mark Gray, 58, recalled to the New York Times the moment a meeting was called at work, "They said we can't go on with these regulations, we can't go on with the way the government's doing." Gray hoped Trump's plan might help. Coal mining was once a major American industry. In 1923, nearly 1 million of America's 110 million citizens worked as coal miners. Now, the industry employs approximately 77,000 people, fewer employees than the Arby's restaurant chain. "It won't ever be back the same," Gray said. "But I hope some of the jobs come back and fix up little places like Harlan County."